Welcome back to Let's Tab 59. What a cracking day. This weather's awesome. Getting on towards the end of September, look at it. So, before I get into today's video, last bit about our challenge we just completed a week ago today. The Just Giving page, I've just gone on there and tried to close it down. I can't close it down today, you have to sort of do it for the next day. So the page will be closing tomorrow, Sunday the 22nd of September 2024. So that's it. Challenge complete. All the money's gone to Scotty's. And I just want to read out the last couple of donators that sneaked in before I closed it, and give you the final totals. And then we'll get into today's video, I promise you, which is a tribute video sort of thing. Right, commemorative video. Whoa, the wind. Right, let's get hold of this. Okay, so let's see what we got. So, the last contributors to the Scottish little challenge that we've done, Scottish Little Soldiers Challenge. First one is Sid. Sid puts just a little top up. Well, that was well taken by us, Sid. Thank you very much. It's well received by us. We appreciate that. I've got another one here, Martin, ex-Irish Naval Service. Thank you, Martin, from over there. Irish Naval Service. Now, I do know a little bit about the Irish Defence Force, the Irish Army, the Irish Naval Service, and the Irish Air Corps. I might do a little bit of a video on you guys. And thank you very much, Martin, from over there to us over here for Scottish Little Soldiers. It's much appreciated, mate. The next one is Paul Fairclough. Paul Fairclough again. Paul, thank you. Your ex-2nd Battalion Royal Regiment of Fusiliers. Cracking regiment, sister regiment to ourselves, PWR. So thank you very much, Paul Fairclough. And you said you're very humbled by the veteran community that's given us support throughout this challenge. Yes, Paul, so am I. Very much. Me and Tracy have been very, very humbled by it all. Fantastic effort by everybody, including yourself, Paul. So thank you very much there. And the last one, Martin the Hun 59. You're a serial donator, you are, Martin. Martin the Hun 59. Fantastic. Thank you very much, Martin. So the total raised was £8,849.48p. Bang on that gift aid, which is £1,624.75. That gives me, the trace around, more importantly, Scottish Little Soldiers, a grand total £10,474.23p, almost £10,500. That's going to really help Scotties out, I know it is. Hopefully I might get on Trace around, might get a message from Scotties once they've received it, or they see it's closed down. And if there is a message of thanks, the thanks is going to be to you guys, so I'll make sure I read that out, because as I said before, me and the Trace around had the easy bit. You guys and girls out there that have donated and supported us, you've done all the hard graft, really, not us. So thank you very much. Right, so bearing all that in mind, today's video, sorry about this, I'm trying to hold my notebook and the wind's all over the place. Alice over the Platts, as they say. Right, so today is the 21st of September, and we're right in the middle, more or less, of marking the 80th anniversary, that fantastic effort by the Allies during World War II of capturing the bridges and trying to close the war down early. Operation Market Garden. Now, I'm not going to do a whole video on Operation Market Garden. Those of you who've not heard of Operation Market Garden, it's immortalised by that famous film, star-studded film, epic film, called A Bridge Too Far. So if you weren't aware of the name Operation Market Garden, that's what it's about. But I'm not going to do a video all about it. I just want to touch on it and just pay a little bit of a thank you to those people that were involved and those who didn't make it back, and a few others you might not have heard of. So just briefly then, Operation Market Garden. 17th of September to the 17th of September to the 25th of September. I'd say today's the 21st, so we're right in the middle of it more or less. Operation Market Garden, two operations actually. One, Operation Market, which was the airborne forces that dropped in to capture and seize the bridges, a number of bridges along the Rhine, including Nijmegen, Arnhem, Graf Bridge, Son Bridge, etc. And then Operation Garden, which was the ground forces, mainly consisted of 30 Corps, and they were going to drive forward at the same time and link up with each bridge in turn and secure them all. It didn't quite work out, unfortunately. It was a shame. The operation was carried out by the United Kingdom, the United States, Canada, Poland, the Netherlands and Belgium. So that was the main allies that conducted the operation. And as I say, it didn't quite go to plan. Several things were against it. You can't put the blame on one thing necessarily. The weather had a hand in it. There was a shortage of aircraft, which meant that the parachute drop, the airborne drop, couldn't happen in a one-er. So it happened over a couple of days. The planes had to recycle back, pick up another lot and go in. So we lost the element of surprise with that. Intelligence, there was a bit of a letdown with the intelligence, as you probably know. So there was a number of things that caused it. In the end, they say it was a 90% success. 90% success is not 100% success, so it wasn't a complete success. It has been termed many times as a failure, which is sad. However, there was 41,000 Allied troops went in, just over 41,000 Allied troops that went in there, and they were up against 100,000 Germans, so outnumbered as normal. So that was the operation. I wanted to pay a bit of tribute to it today and just mention a little bit about it. One thing that many of you may not have heard about that Operation Market Garden, we know about the Allied deaths, we know the suffering and the sacrifices that were made, and that it didn't work out quite right. What you might not be aware of is the starvation that happened afterwards. Now, just to bring this into context, what happened was the Dutch government was in exile, obviously, because Holland, Netherlands had been occupied by the Nazis for some time. So the Dutch government's exiled, it's in the UK, and they knew about Operation Market Garden, obviously, they knew it was going to go in, and they directed the railway workers in Holland to go on strike at the time of the operation in an effort to delay or deny the railway service to the Germans for reinforcement into that area. So that's exactly what they did. The railway staff did exactly what they said and went on strike. Now, after the operation was over, in retribution to that, the German authorities in the area, this is mainly western part of the Netherlands, denied them access to get food in, cutting off the big towns, the big cities from having food. And that was a huge thing to do to the population, because the winter of that year was a particularly harsh one, especially in January. And it became known as the starvation, the Dutch starvation. Over 20,000 Dutch civilians died of starvation after Operation Market Garden, something that's not widely known. People were living off nettles and tulip bulbs, and it had a knock-on effect on their health after that. Even generations after, there were still children being born with deficiencies because of that starvation period that the Nazis put the Dutch population through. So just trying to add something different to the mix on the Operation Market Garden. I've been watching today on BFBS, watching the commemorative parachute jump into Arnhem, or into Holland, I don't know exactly where it was. I just watched it on the TV, the Red Threads making it as well, fantastic display. All the different nations that parachuted in to commemorate it. And interestingly enough, as before, there was a contingent of paratroopers from the German army, the modern German army. So that was really good. So, Before I go, one last little bit. You've heard me speak, and many of you have seen my mate Noby. He's got his own channel. Noby's recently had a mild stroke. Well, unfortunately, early hours of this morning, Saturday the 21st of September, Noby collapsed in his bathroom at home and was taken into hospital. It's caused by low blood pressure. He banged his head when he fell. They've done some CTs on him, and somehow they've found his brain is alright. You're alright, Noby. Put in the leg, mate. Noby's back at home recovering. Noby, for all the Trace around and all the others that subscribe and Nugget, I'm sure, we send our best wishes for your recovery. So that sort of wraps up the video, apart from one more thing I've got to do. I haven't done this since I've done my D-Day once. I wanted to just take a moment and say thank you to all the people that deployed on Operation Market Garden 80 years ago, those that didn't come back, the veterans that did, they all sacrificed so much, and to the 20,000 people that lost their lives, civilians in Holland, from the hunger starvation that the Nazis caused to you, or to them. So I'd like to take a moment and just say thank you, and we will remember them. Okay, troops, that's the end of that. I'm going to go back. I'm definitely going to be watching A Bridge Too Far this evening. I'll call that up on the old telly box. Watch that, it's the right thing to do. That's all for now, troops. Until the next time, it won't be long. Remember, stay safe and blessed.